Hi, it's Amy from Technically Speaking with Amy. My session today will cover Schoology Basics. If you've not heard of Schoology, it is a learning management system or an LMS. It is a way to be able to distribute out assignments to students. This will be a very basic overview of some of the things that it is capable of doing. I have also started a video series on my blog, technicallyspeakingwithamy.com, in which you can find more detailed videos. There's only 2 right now, but there will be more in the future. So going across this strip here, we've got courses. If you've got um, the enterprise version of Schoology, which is the paid version, then you probably have your courses coming over from your student information system. In our district, it's PowerSchool that brings over our courses. You've got groups that you may belong to. You've got resources. So this is a place where you can create. We're going to go through some of these in our course, but know that you can also create them in your resources. This is where you can get apps, and there's so many apps that you can integrate with Schoology. There's hundreds of them. You've got a calendar, you've got a mail system in which you can communicate with your students and your parents. You also have notifications. So anytime a student turns in an assignment, you'll get a notification here. So let's go into the courses. You can add an assignment. And again, we saw this same menu when we were in the resource section. So you can, a lot of teachers, what they do is they'll do planning in the summer. They'll create their materials in their resources, and then they'll push them out into their courses because I can import from my resources right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add an assignment, and I'm going to just name it practice stuff. Notice you've got all the different toolbars up here of things that you can add. I can also add content. So one of the neat things here is I can add videos, I can add pictures. If I'm a math teacher, I can add, there's an equation writer. So there's a lot of different parts to that. So definitely very usable in high school math. Back to this image and media. If it's on my computer, I'm just going to click Attach File. If it's on the internet, I'm going to click From the Web. A picture, I want to leave it on image, and I've already got a picture pulled up here. So I'm just going to right click and copy image address, go back to Schoology, paste the link, and then click Insert Media, and I've got my cute little cats there. And you know, this could be something for a writing prompt that I want to do. But if I want to do a video, I go to the same place, from the web again, in media, because it's a video, and I'm going to go up here to the video I've already pulled up. It's a math video by Math Antics, whom I really like. Paste a link here and insert media, and you're going to get this kind of orangish, yellowish box here. I can make that smaller again if I want. Make sure you give your assignment a due date, choose a category. You don't need to worry about this. This is going to default to what your district says is your marking periods. Grading scale, most of the time you're going to use numeric, although you can choose to grade by a rubric. You can align your assignments by standards. These 3 dots allow you to individually assign something. So say you give a different assignment for your SPED and your ESL students. You could assign one version to your regular ed and another version to your ESL SPED students. This allows you to lock down the assignment. So say you've got a project that's due on Friday and you do not want them to turn in anything after midnight. It's a hard due date. So you can lock the assignment down and they can't turn it in after that. What happens here when this is in color, then there's a button that the students see that they know they have to turn in an assignment. So if you're not having them turn anything in, then you just want to click on it and it's going to turn to this grayscale and they don't see that button anymore. This just means that it's published to students and parents. This shows a bar graph of the grade distribution, so how many A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's. And then this allows students to make comments. I always recommend to my teachers when I do their trainings to turn that off because we don't need students to comment on the assignments. And then we're just going to click create. And notice when I click on that, this is the view what the students are going to see. They're going to see the picture, any text, anything that I put in there, and then they can just play the video from there. One of the other really neat things that you can do with an assignment is to integrate any Google products. And what's really neat about this is that I'll pull it through this assignment. When the students click on the assignment link, it's going to automatically make a copy of it for them and a copy for you. So their assignment actually ends up in their drive and in your drive. Same thing happens with the OneDrive assignment. So if I click on this, Schoology permission, I'm going to look at this and type in chart and attach it. And it's as easy as that. You're going to fill in the rest of this just like you would the other assignments. Click create. You can add a file or a link. You can do a discussion. So again, I have all the formatting tools that I have with an assignment. If I click this, it's just going to expand that and give me some more formatting options. Again, I can add the file, the link, I can do a video audio recording. What I really like about this is that if I make this in color, then that means that students cannot see what the other students have posted before they do their own response. So I like that. So go ahead and just create that. And then what I like about discussions are that when the students go to respond, they can make their own audio video recording. So this is really nice for accommodations for ESL and SPED students, for our primary students, that they don't necessarily have to type back a response. They can do an audio video recording. I can add a page. So what I really like with a page is that I'm going to go ahead and add this video link again. And if I click this button, display on inline, then what happens is that it's right there on that page. So the students don't have to go anywhere else to be able to play that at all. Some other things, you can add a media album. So maybe you went on a trip to ancient Rome and that's one of the things you teach in social studies. So you could upload the pictures that you took on your trip and the students can actually see what those places look like now. This is actually one of the things that I did with a group of my students when I was still in the classroom. And they, even though we could have found any of those pictures online, it meant more to them because I'd actually been there and I had taken those pictures. You also have a test, quiz, and assessment. So they're very similar, but the assessment is a much more interactive question type. Test quiz has your traditional one, but both of these systems, with most of the questions, the system will grade it for you, saving you time. You can also attach a standard to each of those questions, and it's going to track standard mastery for you. It's a really neat tool. So I have some assessments already in here that I just wanted to show you. This was an idea that I had for my teachers of doing station work in Schoology. So in the setup, just let me show you a few things. You can allow students to flag questions. You can allow them to eliminate choices for multiple choice. For those that allow a calculator, you can give them a calculator. You've got 2 different types. You can do rulers. You can do a protractor. And this is really neat. You can allow text to speech. So when you turn this on, the system will actually read the test questions out for the students. When I was teaching, I used to have to wait for my ESL teacher or assistant or the SPED teacher or assistant to come in, pull the students out to be able to read the test to them. Now, students just have to put on a pair of headphones and they can get it read to them right there with everybody else. You can even highlight text. So these are at the test level. Now, I've got different questions. These are all the different question types that there are. Really a lot to choose from. When I grade it, I can grade it by question or by student. There's live progress that I can see, what question are they on? How many questions have they completed? How much time have they spent? Even one of the choices is how many have they flagged for review? So I just wanted to preview this so that you could see a few things that you could do with this for station work. So this happens to be a task card that I created, and I just took a screenshot of it and then uploaded it into it. And so it's one of those that's a fill in the blank. But this next one, I've done a drag and drop. So they're going to use this and then drag and drop their answer. And the system's going to grade it for me. So this, again, it's just a task card. I took a screenshot of it and uploaded it in here. And then I put the box in there and then put different answer choices for them to choose from. This is one where the students can write on it. It's so cool because it takes a video screenshot of everything that they do. So when you're going back over the answers that your students wrote, it plays the video of everything that they did in here. And now this, remember when I showed that you could do the protractor, the ruler at the test level, you can also do it at the question level. So for this one, again, it was another task card. They can bring in the protractor, move it around so it fits, and then they can type in their answer. We also have a ruler. Bring that in. Again, I just put a piece of clip art in there, and then they can put their answer. And then this is another one that's a drag and drop. They can choose what answers that they want for that. So it's a really neat tool. I'll definitely be doing a much longer video on different things that you can do with assessments. Going down this left side, you've got updates. And again, you've got the tools that you had before. You can insert links, symbols, equations. Here you can do your files, your links, something from your resource. You can do an audio video recording. And here you can also do a poll. Now the only thing with this is you can get the answers, but you don't know who answers what. So it's kind of a good thing, a bad thing. You might get more students to respond if they know that you're not going to know who's answering it. They might answer more truthfully with that. You've got your gradebook. And this allows you to add assignments. This is going to pop up just like my assignment box did when I was in materials, if I'm going to do a test quiz online or the discussion online. When I'm in the gradebook, I just type in their scores, assuming it wasn't something that scored it for me. If you notice this flag, I've got exceptions. I can mark things excused, incomplete, or missing. If it's marked excused or incomplete, it's not going to count against the student. And if I mark it as missing, it's going to put it as a 0. I can also add comments. So I can make a comment just for myself, or I can check mark this and it will be displayed to the parent and the student. I also have things in here. I can edit it. I can track any revisions that I made. I can set all grades. So I used to grade math homework just for did you do it or not. If you put forth the effort, you showed all your work, you got your 10 points. So I used to enter a lot of 10s in the gradebook. This would set all of those for me as 10, and then I wouldn't have, and then I just go back in and edit the ones that didn't earn 10 points, saving me time. Again, I can mark cells as excused. So say you did a science lab, there's no real way for those students that were absent to make it up. So you have grades for everybody who was there, and then you mark those that are empty as excused. You can do the same thing for incomplete and missing. Remember when I said you could show the students the bar graph of the grade distribution? This is where you can see that. And then you can also delete the assignment. Grade setup. This is where you can set up your categories. If you want to do weighted categories, you just click on that. Your marking periods will be set depending on what you do for your marking periods. Our high school, we have, quarter one, quarter two, and then a final. And then our elementaries are all 25% for each quarter. Mastery. This is where we can see standard mastery. So I don't have anything tagged in this example, but it's going to show me where they are level-wise for each of the standards. Badges. There's badges that Schoology has, and then there's badges that I've created for myself. Unfortunately, you can only award a badge to a student once, but it's just as easy as clicking in the box to award it to them. Members. This is really nice because what can happen here is I can add more teachers. So say that I want to add Miss Beadle to my class. So I click her, I click add members, and then I'm just going to make her an administrator. Now she has the same access that I do. I mentioned individually assigning assignments. Well, what you can do here is create grading groups. You notice I already have them. You can see them underneath here. Only the admins can see those. You can also do grading groups for like group work. So all I do is click on adding groups. I click on whoever I want in there. I create my grading group and click create grading group. So then next time when I click on my three dots, I just type in the name of my group and it automatically populates those students instead of me having to type in all of those names. I can also get my parent access codes here. So we really want parents to get their own account in Schoology. We don't want them logging in with the students' information. So download this, click on the button, and it'll download into a CSV file, and it gives them their parent access code. And it's going to associate them with all of their child's courses. So they don't need a separate code for all of the, the math class, the science class, social studies classes, for all of them. Then they're going to go to Schoology.com, and I'll just show you that real quick. They will click in sign up and parent, and since I'm already in there, it won't do it, but sign up, choose a parent, then they put in the access code and it lets them create their own account. Analytics. This is going to show me when is the last time that my student accessed Schoology, and then when is the last time that they actually accessed any of the materials that are in my course. Then we also have workload planning. And this is going to show me how many assignments my students have due on any given day. So this is particularly useful for high school or middle school when they don't have the same teacher all day. You can see how many assignments those students have due each day. Lockdown browser is something that your district can purchase. It's an additional fee, but it's really nice. It works with any test, quiz, or assessment. When a teacher applies it, then any assessment or test quiz that is used, it will open up at its own browser. Students cannot navigate away from that browser unless they've submitted that assessment or test quiz. So this again we sync to PowerSchool, so that's where the app is. You've got conferences and you've got Teams meetings. So conferences is really nice. So particularly with our distance learning, we want to be able to do this, and it's very easy to use this. We click create new conference. I'm just going to name it test. You don't even have to give it a start time, but it's nice to have that because that tells the students when it's going to start. You can even do an end time. I'm going to click create. When it's time for me to start it, I'm going to click start conference. Students are going to go that same place, but when you have to have started the conference before this link becomes live for them. So they cannot join it before you have started it. And then if your district uses Microsoft, then you can also import Teams. So that's also a neat tool that you can use. And that's everything in a course, which is a lot that you can do within a course. I'm going to go back to resources here. Oh, one more thing I forgot. If I click on course options, this is huge here. Send a message. This allows me to send a message to everyone in my course. You don't have to send them individual emails. Okay, on to resources. Schoology has public resources. So if I click on my own resources here, this is going to take me to my resources, anything that I have saved in here. But if I click on public, it's going to take me to the thousands and thousands of resources that are available in Schoology, that Schoology teachers that use Schoology have pushed out. They're free for you to use. You just have to click on this. It will add it to your resources, and then you can push it out to your students, and you can edit it once it's there. So it's a really neat tool. So that's all I have for right now. Again, I am creating more videos, and they are on my blog, which can be found at technicallyspeakingwithamy.com. I hope that you found this video useful. I am the Schoology trainer for my district as well as a Schoology ambassador, so please feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to answer any questions that I can on Schoology. It is really a wonderful tool to be able to use with your students. Have a great day. Bye.